Hello everyone. I just wanted to make a video this morning. I'm going to be in the Old Testament. I'm going to be in Exodus 4, verse 1 through maybe like 17. But anyway, this says, "And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, The Lord hath not appeared unto thee. And the Lord said unto him, What is in thine hand? And he said, A rod. And he said, Cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent, and Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said unto Moses, Put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and caught it by the tail, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand, that they may believe that the Lord God their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, Put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it turned again as his other flesh. And so it came to pass, if they would not hearken to thee, not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign." And it reminded me of the verse over there. It says, "And he confirmed the word with signs following. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, thou shalt take the water of the river and pour it upon dry land. And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land." And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore nor since thou hast spoken unto my servant, for I am a slow speech and of a slow tongue. And the Lord said unto him, Who hath made thy man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb, or the deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Hath not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what to say. And he said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of whom thou wilt send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know he can speak well, and also he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be even as he shall be unto thee, instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be unto him instead of a God. And thou shalt take this rod in thy hand wherever thou shalt do signs. It said Moses wasn't eloquent. Well, I'm glad to know that there's other people that's in that same category as I am, because I'm not. But I think maybe history or whatever, people thought that he was a stutterer maybe. And I've known some stutterers in my time, and you have, all of us have. We know, maybe most of us know of Mel Tillis, who was a stutterer but could sing without any difficulty, and was pretty popular. I knew a fellow when I called on grocery stores. I was in another town, and the dad was usually the one I saw, but this particular day, his son was going to fill in for him. And his son was a bad stutterer. I mean, it's the worst I've ever seen. And somebody called him on the phone while I was sitting there waiting on him. Trying to do a presentation to him. And he told the person on the phone, he said, I'll tell you in a minute if I can get it out. And I'll tell you, my heart just went out for him. It just kind of appeared to me that he could have already told him while he was telling him that what he's going to do. But anyway, and also there was a great man of our faith, Brother Olaf Gaines, that was a stutterer. And the Lord healed him. so that he didn't stutter anymore from there to the end of his life. Sometimes it seems like God has you hid, but like Moses, God will bring you out eventually so that people can see. God hid Moses. He hid him in the Nile River. They was after him like they was Jesus. It was commanded that they should kill all the children 2 years old or less, and Moses' mother hid him in the house. Not a house like this is, or what you have. Is just more or less a Hebrew slave house, like a tent. And so when he was about, I think it was maybe like 3.5 years old or whatever it was, his mother could hide him no longer, and she went and put him down in the Nile River. And with snakes and crocodiles and all that kind of stuff. And how would you like for your baby to be floating in the Nile River? But somebody came and took him and found him. Who was that? That was Pharaoh's daughter. And eventually, maybe not right that same day, but eventually she took him to Pharaoh's house, the man that was trying to kill him. And then I suppose, Moses learned Egyptian and Hebrew, I guess, sort of like Joseph, and he was able to help the people. But God can hide things. And there's things that's hidden within us. Or at least I feel like that way for me. I felt that way, and I've wanted to find out what's hidden before I have the answers, before I have to leave this earth. I'm not afraid of death. Made preparations for that a long time ago. I'm just afraid that I'm going to leave here before I find out the answers to the questions. It's like taking a test, and they give you so many minutes, and you have to answer the questions. I want to answer the questions before the bell rings. So questions like, who am I? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? You have to be alone with God to find out the answer to those questions, to the pieces of the puzzle that's in your life, so that we can complete our destiny of who we are. God asked Moses, what's in your hand? Whatever you need is always in your hand. God will provide it. He provided Samson with the jawbone of an ass, Moses with a rod. So we need to be busy finding out what it is that we've got. Like the woman that had 10 coins and she lost one, and she swept the house to find that one. You ought to be sweeping the house of your mind to find out. The woman had nine left. It looked like she could have been happy with 9, but it wasn't complete. It's like a shoe, like buying shoes. You don't go down there to buy one shoe. That's not a set. A dozen is not a dozen if one's missing. He left the 99 to find that one. So 1 Corinthians 4:5. Let me see what that says, if I can. Hold on just a minute. I want to read this to us. It said, therefore judge nothing before the time until the Lord come, who will bring to light the hidden things of darkness and make manifest the counsels of the heart, and then shall every man have praise of God. He said, judge nothing before the time. We can't tell what something's going to be. He said, one place he says, does not yet appear what it should be. There's nothing about a caterpillar that gives you any clue that it's going to become a beautiful butterfly. So we don't know what people's got within them. We make and look and judge and think we are making a good judgment, but we really don't know. Moses and David both, they tended sheep. There's There's nothing about that hinted that they were going to help God's people and be as great as they was. They was, at first, Moses and David was like errand boys, go fetch it boys. And Moses didn't know completely, I guess, his destiny till he got down to the burning bush. The burning bush, I mean, he'd probably seen bushes burning in the desert. They got them I can't remember what you call them, but they catch on fire. The heat gets so intense, and it's kind of an oily plant. And but he'd seen that before. But what he hadn't seen is one that burned and didn't burn up. And God didn't call him till he turned aside to see the bush. There's things that's fearful, like the burning bush was, but you can't walk off on once you've been exposed to it. It's like the ministry. Once you know that that's what you're supposed to do, you can't just walk off, although you may be afraid of it a pretty good bit. And the Lord in Genesis 3:9, and the Lord called unto Adam and said, where art thou? And anytime God, the Almighty God, asks you a question, he doesn't need you to impart any wisdom to him. He's just trying to get your attention. If God's asking you a question, it's like a teacher asking you a question, and she already knows the answer to it, but she wants to find out what you know and to get your attention. They're just trying to get you stirred up and thinking on your own, in your own mind. A lot of things were with Moses just a part of the time during the journey, like the leprosy. But his rod and his staff was with him all the way. I've already stated that I don't care for a one-man band. You know, I don't know if you've seen these or not. They got the things they're blowing in. They got cymbals and they're trying to make a tune, but it's not too pleasant to me. Elijah was part of Elijah's staff. Even Jesus had 12 men. Don't look like it, Jesus, if anybody, don't look like he would need anybody. And even Jesus needed 12 men. And also when Jesus was there, John said, behold the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. Why would Jesus need anybody to tell other people who he was, as powerful as he was? If Jesus needed someone, and if Moses needed people, you know, Jethro went down to visit Moses, and he told him that he was going to waste away trying to judge the people from morning to night, and he had him appoint elders. So if Moses, one of the greatest leaders I've ever seen, if he needed someone, then I think we do too. You know, your staff, they won't leave you if everything's going good, if it's as it should be. He said in Ephesians 5:31, he's talking about the husband and wife. He said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. Something you're joined to, you just can't separate yourself from it. It's gonna cause you harm. If we really are joined to our wife, we won't separate from them. And if they're joined to us. And I think that if part of your staff leaves you, they just wouldn't join to you. We've had people, was a part of our church and they went somewhere else. And I hope that they joined there. I hope they were joined together. They just probably wouldn't, I'd say they wouldn't join to you in the first place. You need something that has some stick to it to make people want to, that draws and makes people want to be with you and a part of what you're doing. And you need other people because you're, like I said, the one-man band, you're a limited resource. Thought about the man on a cot, the mat, or whatever you want to call it, that had the palsy. And those 4 people, they couldn't get him in. It was so crowded to see Jesus that they went up on the roof and tore the roof off to get him down to Jesus. I need 4 tear off the roof guys in our church, on our team, as a part of our staff. Don't get frustrated with who the Lord has provided you with. I know I've seen people that could take the same thing that I couldn't do with, and it could be successful. There's somebody that could take the same people I've got and make it work. So I want to be the one to make that work. And John, when he pointed Jesus out, they didn't hardly know. They knew John. He was baptizing people down at the Jordan, and they knew him. And but that voice come from heaven said, "This is my son in whom I'm well pleased. This is my boy." I need a witness or a sponsor. I need somebody to point me out along. When the Lord blesses you and gets a hold of you, I feel like that's part of it. That's a big part of it. If Jesus needed somebody to point him out, don't you think that I need somebody to point me out, and maybe you too do too? I'd hate to be so independent that I didn't need anybody. With the right people, with the right man, like Paul and other great men of the Bible, that you could turn the city upside down. Brother Kenneth, there's a brother asked me, we got 3 or 4 people working at our church, and he said, how do you handle them people? And I said, I just get back out of the way and let them work. And I'm so thankful for them. They do such a good job. I want to be somebody that can bring out the best in people, because that's who people follow. I know that's what I've wanted, is somebody that can bring out the best in me. The one that could help me see what I couldn't even see in myself. I believe, you could say, I believe I got something great within me. I just need somebody to help me get it out. God told Moses to throw down his rod, and it turned into a serpent. And that was just a dress rehearsal for when they got with Pharaoh. So we need the signs following us, so we'll confirm the word with signs following, so we'll know. That's just sort of like a dress rehearsal. The enemy should have killed you before you knew what you had in you. Now it's just about too late, because you're on a mission, and you know what you got to fight with now. Moses had Aaron to speak for him. He had Joshua and Caleb to go spy out the land. Jesus had 12 disciples, and I'm glad of everybody that I've got to help me out. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sending it to you with much love and much hopes that it will help you. Until next time that we're together.